Welcome to Environmental Education. I'm Christina Moffett.
And I'm Sean Gerhard.
As we approach the holidays, we'd like to discuss how to host an eco-friendly party.
Let's start with decorations. Many decorations are unfortunately plastic, but get crafty and create your own. You can also recycle any used decorations to TerraCycle.
Instead of creating waste by using single-use products, provide silverware, glass plates, glass cups, and cloth napkins to your guests.
Always try to shop local. Try to purchase foods and fruits from farmer markets and other items from local vendors.
Also, have your guests bring reusable containers to make sure that no food goes to waste. And if you're attending a party, consider bringing your own items, such as your own cutlery, reusable cup, etc. So, Sean, what are your plans for Thanksgiving?
So, Mother doesn't like these plans, but unfortunately, I shouldn't say unfortunately, I'm going to say fortunately for me, I'm flying out to San Diego with the women's basketball team and covering a tournament out there for Thanksgiving. Not going to be home. Mother Teresa doesn't like that, but, you know, what can I say? I'm an adult now.
Yeah.
Got to do adult things.
Well, that's really exciting. So when are you flying out?
I'm flying out 5:45 on Thanksgiving.
On the day of Thanksgiving?
On the day of Thanksgiving, yep.
Wow. So when will you be coming back?
I will be coming back Sunday morning at 6:30 a.m.
Wow, bright and early.
Bright and early. I'm going to love it.
So are you going to be doing anything else while you're there other than the game?
I'll probably only have time to cover the games. One of my friends from home is deployed out in San Diego, so maybe I'll get to see him for lunch or something. But that's my plans for Thanksgiving, I guess, because I'm always working. But what about you, Christina?
That's really good, though. That's fun. So I have Thanksgiving at my house. I just plan on getting caught up with some homework, things like that, getting ready for finals. Not fun, but we have dinner at my house. Some family comes over. My mom makes a nice dinner for us, so that should be fun. Excited to catch up on some sleep, my work, just relax, see my friends from home. So it should be a nice break, hopefully.
Well, let me ask you this. What's your favorite Thanksgiving food? And you can't say turkey.
I can't say turkey since I don't eat it. I would say my mom makes really good candied sweet potatoes. So I really like those. I just love vegetables, so my mom always makes sure to make me something separate. Sometimes they'll make stuffing and just not put meat in it for me. Trying to think what else we usually have, like asparagus. I'm a big fan of Hawaiian rolls as well, which we have at every Thanksgiving dinner.
It's a flex.
So I love them. But what about you? What's your favorite?
Oh, for me, do you want my answer before I got diagnosed with celiac and had to go gluten-free, or after? Because it makes a huge difference. Both? So before it was the dinner rolls. So, bread. It was
Delicious.
My best friend before the incident. That's what I call it. After I got diagnosed with celiac and had to go gluten-free, I gotta say my mom makes this carrot casserole. It's really sweet. It's really good. Kind of a unique dish we have for Thanksgiving. That's probably my favorite though. But listen, if you are traveling over our break, like me, or just in general, here are a few tips you can do while you travel. The average airline passenger generates a little over 3 pounds of waste per flight. Download your airline's app and have them scan your boarding pass on your phone instead of printing it out, unless you are required to, of course. Pack toiletries in a reusable sealable bag so you don't have to use single-use plastic bottles in the hotels. Do not purchase travel-sized items. Instead, purchase little refillable bottles and top them off with whatever you need: shampoo, soap, conditioner, etc. Once finished, wash the bottles and save them for your next adventure.
Bring your own items, such as a refillable water bottle, a coffee cup, snacks not in plastic, cloth napkins, headphones, a reusable straw, and a reusable bag if you like to shop. So just make sure that you are trying to be prepared for these things, because let's say you do get like headphones on the airplanes. A lot of the times, unfortunately, I heard that they get thrown out after they're used. Even blankets get thrown out, or pillows. So, just be prepared. Bring a jacket, because the airplanes can get pretty cold. So just make sure that you are prepared and bring these different items.
Also, don't forget to offset your carbon emissions. And going off of that, looking into our next break already, I know I am looking forward to this one.
Me too.
A whole month off, a little bit more than actually a month. But any plans over the winter break?
Yes, so I'm actually very excited. So Christmas, same thing. We kind of just have dinner at my house. Family comes over. And then in January, I will be going on a cruise to Dubai.
Hey, nice.
It should be a lot of fun. So I'm really excited for that. And what about you?
So for me, I'm going to be here. I'm going to be in my house because I'm paying rent, so I'm going to use that.
Take advantage of it.
Take advantage. I'll be home for probably 3 days over break.
Okay.
For winter break. Otherwise, I have games to call here. Basketball games over break. There's only a couple though, but I'm gonna work on my reel over break here. Get some of that little work done, that I don't have time to during the semester. So I am looking forward to, waking up and not having responsibilities for a day or two. That's gonna be nice.
Sean stays on his grind, he's always working, so good for you getting that experience and, working on your reel and things. I think that's really important, especially in our field, to, gather all our work that we've done so that, we can use it once we graduate. So that should be fun.
Grind don't stop.
Definitely doesn't. So now we're gonna have a look at a little tutorial that I made with my roommate. So we made pomegranate lemonade, which would avoid purchasing juice or drinks in plastic packaging. And then after that video will be a vegan coconut date cookie recipe, which also avoids plastic packaging and is a more sustainable dessert option. So let's have a look at that.
Sure, I look cute now, but when my owner lost his job, it was rough. I was living on the street, and one night, me and this Cocker Spaniel got into it so bad, I wound up looking like an ice cream cone. I cried a little bit, but thankfully I got rescued, so I'm running, I'm jumping, all back to my old self. And I'm ready to give unconditional love, even if you put a lampshade on my head.
Hey, Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Do clouds take naps?
I couldn't tell you.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look.
Christina, how did you like the treats?
So I'll start with the pomegranate lemonade. So my roommate said that it was an acquired taste. Actually, she said that for both items.
Is that good or bad?
So the thing that we didn't do was we didn't try the pomegranate before we made it.
Okay.
So the pomegranate wasn't as sweet as it could have been. That was actually my first time using an actual pomegranate. I've had pomegranate flavored things and stuff, but I did like it. My roommate thought it could have maybe had a little more sweetener. I'm personally kind of against using too much sweeteners. I don't like as much things with too much sugar, because then I just feel like it's unhealthy. But I think it was good. It had about 4 servings, so you could definitely make a lot more from it, but I think it was good for a first try. And then with the cookies, they turned out well. My roommate actually never had a date before, so she liked them. She wasn't too sure about the vegan chocolate. I think it was because of the coconut oil. She's not a coconut person.
You really like coconut, don't you?
I do like coconut.
I learned that when we made our brownies.
I really do like coconut, and my roommate doesn't, but she did like the vegan date cookies, so I was happy with how they turned out.
Can you just explain what date cookies are for those of us that don't know?
Yes, so a date is technically, I guess, a fruit, and it's kind of about this size, looks kind of like a raisin, an enlarged raisin.
Okay.
And it's kind of sticky, chewy, almost like molasses, I guess, but it's very sweet, and you just blend it up with the coconut. It's a very simple recipe. You just have to make sure you take the pits out inside the date. You don't want to bite into one of those. So very sweet, but I definitely, it's also gluten-free, so Sean can eat it. So next time I make them, Sean can taste and you can talk about that.
Try some date cookies.
I would have loved to save you one, but unfortunately they got eaten in my apartment.
They must have been good then.
Yeah, exactly.
I've got to ask you this though. What do you think was better, the cookies or the brownies?
Ooh,
I won't take it personal if you pick the one that didn't involve me.
That's a tough choice. I'm gonna go with the date cookies just because they're I think something small that you can just eat, just 1 or 2 of them. So a brownie I kind of think is maybe more filling since it's bigger and really not as healthy technically as the date, because dates are good for you and it's just the date and coconut, which is unsweetened. But I did love the brownies.
Here it is. Come on.
I gotta say, I did love the brownies.
I am gonna take this personally, even though I promised not to.
Yeah, well, I figured. But I did like the date. I like them both.
Ah, here, yeah. Now I was just trying. This is the participation award of cooking, right? Yeah.
Yep, that's it.
No, I get it. The cookies were better. All right. They didn't have my secret ingredient of love.
Hey, but they're gluten-free, so you can at least eat them.
Doesn't
you didn't
matter.
even get to try the brownies.
My heart's crushed. It's okay. I feel like the Grinch.
I'm sorry, Sean.
It's okay. We need to move on.
All right. Well, a company that we would like to highlight is the Package Free Shop. The Package Free Shop is a home goods store whose mission is to make the world less trashy by selling products to reduce waste.
They sell health and beauty products, on-the-go items, zero-waste kits, and more. There are 2 stores which are located in Brooklyn and Chelsea Market, New York. For more information, visit packagefreeshop.com. You can also follow them on Instagram at packagefreeshop. That's all one word. If you are looking it up on your Instagram or Twitter or anything, go follow them.
So supporting businesses like these are really important because they are advocates for a better environment. So to put things into perspective, there's about 329 million people living in the US, and you're using multiple plastic bags each time you go to the grocery store, which can be once a week or so, and maybe 3 bags each trip. So that's over 50 billion plastic bags used in grocery stores every year, which could be simply replaced by reusable bags. So it's not just one straw or one plastic bag when everybody is saying this. We can't follow societal norms if it's going to cause this damage to our society.
Now let's take a look at a video discussing the current state of our coral reef and about what the coral gardeners do.
There is something right now that is happening on our planet that will affect all of us. Due to our carbon footprint, we have lost 50% of our coral reef in the last 3 decades. You're probably wondering what this has to do with us. Well, let me ask you, how long can you hold your breath? The coral reef is our ocean's lungs. Land plants only produce about 1/3 of the oxygen we breathe. The rest comes from the ocean. If we don't act now, the coral reef will be completely gone by 2050. But there is still hope. There's a group of kids from a tiny island in the Pacific Ocean trying to fight this war. They are called the Coral Gardeners. They have already successfully replanted over 7,000 corals, bringing new life to our oceans. But they need our help. This is a global issue that affects all of us. No reef, no ocean, no air. So how can we help? If we all share this video, we can help raise funds needed to expand the organization all over the world, bringing life back into our oceans. The time is now.
So I personally thought that this was a very powerful video, and it hopefully will encourage people to look up what the Coral Gardeners do and just educate themselves and hopefully donate. And I think that it was interesting that land plants give 1/3 of our oxygen, and the rest of our oxygen is actually from the ocean. And I also thought it was cool that one of the ambassadors is actually the musician Jack Johnson. I'm not sure if you're familiar with him, but he lives in Hawaii, and he's a very big environmental advocate. So I thought that was a really nice, cool thing.
Well, the coral bleaching has been a huge problem for us, and it's just getting worse and worse in our oceans. And the reefs are responsible for so much of marine life. It's 25% of marine life call the reef their home, and 4,000 species of fish inhabit the reefs. Corals absorbs CO2 emissions from the air and transform it into oxygen. This regulates our air and water temperatures.
An interesting fact that I thought was that coral reefs actually protect our coastlines against big waves, storms, and erosion. They can absorb up to 97% of energy from waves and can reduce wave height by 84%.
The services that coral reefs provide have been valued at around $10 trillion per year. These services include food, resources, tourism, coastal protection, climate change, mitigation, and more. More than 500 million people depend on coral reefs for their food, resource, and income.
Reef organisms are important sources to create new medications. They've already provided remedies for treating asthma, arthritis, and some cancers. Unfortunately, due to current trends, the coral reef is expected to die out by 2050, but organizations like the Coral Gardeners are trying to fight this from happening.
The Coral Gardeners are looking for volunteers to work in the legal aspect, administration, communications, accounting, and more. Learn more at their website at coralgardeners.org.
You can also donate and name your own coral to be planted, which my roommate and I are actually trying to do. It's only 25 euros, so I'm not sure if there's a different fee for that in paying in American dollars, but we're definitely trying to get a coral reef to be planted, and we're trying to combine our names actually, and that's how we'll name it. So their mission is to plant 5,000 corals in the next 5 months, so you can help donate this at thecoralgardeners.org. It's a little bit confusing, but you have to click Alexis Wren on the top right corner of the website, and that's where you can donate.
I would sure like a coral reef named after me. I think that's going to actually convince people to do it.
Yeah, I think that's a really cool thing that they have.
Yeah.
So hopefully people will.
Now we'd like to present some random environmental facts. Number 1, the world's oldest trees are more than 4,600 years old.
25% of the bottled water you buy is really municipal tap water, which hopefully will turn people off and stop buying bottled water when you can just purchase a Brita filter instead, and that will definitely reduce your plastic waste and your water will be filtered.
The ozone layer hole, which is approximately 29 million square kilometers, is expected to be fully healed in the next 55 years. Finally, some positive news.
Yes.
This is due to the worldwide banning of chlorofluorocarbon and hydrofluorocarbon.
So the world uses about 160,000 plastic bags every second, and the U.S. throws away enough plastic bottles in a week to circulate the Earth 5 times. Hopefully we'll see a decrease in this because of, like I said, with the
Reusable bottles.
reusable bottles.
You know, the whole Visco girl move.
Yes, and how I said that it's municipal tap water, so hopefully that will lessen.
Convince some people. A positive is that many plastic bag bans are being implemented around the world, including right here, so that will help in reducing how many are wasted. And a problem that directly affects us is we go to shop right now and they do charge you extra for the plastic bags. I think it's great. I think I still need to get my reusable bags, but I think it is a great kind of tax and a great kind of way to convince people, because listen, people are only going to be convinced when there's money involved. Money runs the world. So I think this is a good thing for our environment.
I agree. I think it kind of started with Aldi. I know Aldi has always charged for bags, so I think that just also adds to the fact of using reusable bags. And yes, plastic are bad, but also you should be bringing your reusable bags, because after you use a paper bag, if it just gets thrown away, it's contributing to the same waste reason. So yes, paper bags are better than plastic because plastic doesn't decompose, but also we just want to lessen our waste in general. So using reusable bags is definitely important. And like you said, money controls a lot of things. So I think charging can definitely, lessen people's use of these plastic bags. So something that I saw was really interesting is that Coldplay decided to cancel their tour due to environmental concerns. They want to work on how to make their tour actively sustainable, which I think is really interesting. What do you think about that?
It kind of came out of left field for me. I remember you telling me about it, and Coldplay's a very popular band, and I understand why some fans would be upset because obviously, they canceled the concert, but it's very, they're really sticking their necks out for this, and good for them. They're going to get a bunch of bad backlash for this in the near future, but looking at this, if I'm Coldplay's PR director here, they're in the end game now. I had to quote, Avengers there. They're in the end game now because this is only going to make them look better in the future. I know it's hard to say right now because I know they're receiving a lot of backlash for it right now, but it is going to help them in the long run when they were one of the first ones to stick out their necks and say, hey, we're not even going to do this concert because of the concerns here.
I think it is a really important step. Yes, it's unfortunate for the fans that aren't able to go see them now, but I think for different environmental advocates, me now personally, if I find out that they are doing something that's actively sustainable in their tours, I might try to go and see how that's working out. How they're selling different drinks. Are they not putting them in plastic cups? So how does that work out? I'd love to see that. So, I think that hopefully that it will bring out more of a crowd once they do go back on tour. And I'm glad to see that someone is trying to do these things. So I'm happy that they are, and hopefully they don't receive too much backlash about it.
All of us in every industry have to just work out what the best way of doing our job is. The hardest thing is the flying side of things. We're taking time over the next year or two to work out how can not only our tour be sustainable, but how can it be actively beneficial? How can we harness the resources that our tour creates and make it have a positive impact? Our dream is to have a show with no single-use plastic, to have it be largely solar powered. So I think it's a question of just accepting that you have to do your best, not to be too overzealous in criticizing others, because everyone will catch up if you prove that it's easy to do it the right way.
So what ways the BBC website influenced this album?
Well, I don't want this to seem like but I don't mind saying, I think that although I don't really know where the music comes from, I think it's floating around or whatever. Sometimes if you're reading and you're looking, these little blooms of things that you feel might be great to sing about appear, and on your website is a lot of them. Well, actually, it's funny, there was an article on the BBC website, which is what I look at a lot. In fact, they always have these amazing human interest pieces. And there was a piece on there called The Gardener of Kabul, about this guy from Kabul who had been a gardener and was trying to get back and grow flowers and plants and everything. And I just thought, the circumstances that this guy has experienced are not unique to him, and it could have happened to me or it could have happened to you. So anyway, that was kind of brewing, and then this song Orphans arrived, just thinking about all these young people who are displaced and they get labeled as refugees or migrants, but ultimately they're just young people who want to get on with their lives. And I think that's what the song Orphans is about, and just imagining what that experience might be like. To find these individual stories all around the world just reinforces what I'm talking about, our shared humanity rather than our separate, nationalism or stuff that I don't actually believe in.
So, unfortunately, this is our last episode of the semester, but we'll be back in the spring, so don't worry. And make sure you have a safe winter break and fun. And thanks for watching. Stay tuned for next show in the spring. Thanks.
There are 16 million children struggling with hunger in America. That's 1 in 5 daughters, sons, neighbors, and classmates who don't know where their next meal is coming from. Yet billions of pounds of good food go to waste every year. It's time we do something about it. Feeding America is a nationwide network of food banks that helps provide meals to millions of kids and families in need. Visit feedingamerica.org to help them feed even more. Together, we can solve hunger. Together, we're feeding America.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move, so I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Listen, I realize that I'm not perfect, but it all really started to change because you judge me for having a problem. No one is going to know that I need help. I need help. I know that no one is going to judge me for having a problem. I realize that I'm not perfect, but it all really started to change because you listen.
When I was growing up, my mom was extremely tidy. We were trained to put things back where we got them from. One day, when I walked into my mom's house, I felt like I walked to someone else's house. There was stuff everywhere. And just growing up the way I grew up and to see this transition was very alarming.
When Sean talked to me, it was a wake-up call, and that's when I went to the doctor.
Mom, I got it. What are you doing in there?
I got stuck.
Are you a dog?
I wouldn't do that. Have you seen the pliers? Where'd you find those?
It's not your birthday.
Sorry.
Bye, Grandpa.
Bye, Grandpa.
Take care of yourself.
What are you doing? What are you looking for?
Awkward. Do I look familiar? I should. You might remember me from here. Here. Or maybe even here. But an awkward silence can be a great thing. It can actually be a perfect moment to reach out to a friend and ask if they're okay if they seem down. It doesn't matter how you say it.
You all right?
Everything's okay?
All G?
You all right, girl? You cool?
You bugging dog.
Just show you're there for them. Go on, Kelly. Susie Awkward.
Hey, you haven't really been yourself lately. Are you okay?
Find out how you can help a friend with their mental health at seizetheawkward.org.